It's live chat going. Thank you for the Aletheia. All right. I'm going to have to mute that. All right, it is what it is. We're going to have to look at the lesson here and not worry about me. So, we'll let some people get in here. I don't think the notifications is working properly still on the channel, but at least we were able to get herself one shadow, man. I'm going to do something about that light, huh? That's not everything, is it? As long as they can see the board. See the board. You'll be all right. All right, we'll get back. Guess who's back? Isn't that crazy for him to turn out and then turn around and flip the script on us the whole time? He's talking about being, he had her locked up in the trunk and all that, but then he turns out he's that way, like he went to the Diddy party with Trump. Oh. And Snoop Dogg. All right, well, guys, we'll let some people pile in here. We'll go do us a whiteboard lesson here. People are very offended by their eyes. Idolatry. Idolism. I'm going to show you why they like that all-seeing eye. The eye in the sky, like Mr. Sticky Muskrat. You know, chumps, buddy. South Africa. Mr. Glasshole. Boring. Boring. So, all right. Like I said, the lighting situation is not the best, but we'll just have to deal with it. Life ain't Burger King. Can't always have it your way. So you got to pay attention to the whiteboard, not me. Idolatry. Pornea. Idolatria. There we go. Matthew. I love it. Matthew. Who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves. The backbone of this ministry. Matthew 10:34 through 39. And you need to go read that every single day. Read that every day. You want a reason to live? You want to know what we're here? Read the backbone of this ministry. Matthew 10:34 through 39. Do not think I came to bring peace. Shalom. I am. I need to get some more markers. And I failed to do that when I went to town. Oh, well. Life ain't Burger King. He said before Abraham was, I am. Man, my markers are gone. Okay. You're out. You're out. Oh, we don't have a red marker. All right, we do without it. We go without. There we go. We got some. Oh, that looks like the sun. It's not you. It's not CO2. It's the sun. All right. Yeah, I thought we were all gonna die. Yep, we're all gonna die. So. Thanks for coming in, brother, sister. We'll do a little lesson here. I'll show you why Father doesn't want us to celebrate anything. Nothing at all. Not even one single day. So, can you see that okay? I think you can see that. But been with the channel, you know what you're seeing here. You know that there's, they thought there was this goddess of heaven, spinning the Big Dipper, you know, around the North Star, the Pole Star, and they thought that the sun was dying, and they thought all kinds of things that they didn't even understand how our firmament, the handiwork, was cleared above our heads. And this is the rotation of this. This is the pyramid locations that they marked on this rock. So this Yule wheel worship, and why we're not to celebrate anything, and we always fall into idolatry, and he fulfilled all these things. So we're not to do any of these things anymore. And under this covenant, people aren't going to like that, because they love their celebrations, man. They love to party, and they love to have the birth dates, and like idolatry. That is the Greek word porneia, you know, like having idols, idolatry, porneia, idols. He warned of idolatry. They went after other gods in the sky, and idolatry. Ahab had married Jezebel. Remember, Ahab married Jezebel, and that's that Baphomet worship, the worship of the god of three genders. Sun worship, pole worship, tree like Moloch. Esau killed his brother Nimrod. Remember, tree, idolatry. Hello, brothers, sisters. This should be plain as the nose on your face, but they don't see it because they love to celebrate. Remember, bang, bang, bang. They love to eat human flesh, or act like they eat flesh of the Roman sun god, pagan king, fake pagan peasant that got to live like a king and be orgified. It was an orgy. Christmas, Christ Mass, right? Mass A. That's a Satanistic ritual, not pagan. Pagans didn't eat human flesh. Satans eat human flesh. The ones that hijacked paganism of the Yule wheel. They're always trying to get back to the spring, Easter. All these holidays are Christmas, is the birth of the sun god aligning the star Ishtar, the sex goddess of sex and fertility, the one who had sex with her son Tammuz. I don't know if it's 2 M or 2 Z's or not. All right, I don't care about spelling. If you're the spelling police, I apologize. I got hooked on phonics. Well, maybe not. It didn't work for me, apparently. So, okay, but anyways, Tammuz was the son of Satan, and that was the wife of Satan was Semiramis, or Ashtaroth, or Ishtar. The worship of the star, again, if you see on all these kitty touch nations that go for like Muhammad or the Quran or Catholicism basically was Catholics wrote the Quran, but you'll always see that crescent moon. That moon is this fertility goddess, Ishtar, star. You know, the flag, they got that. That means they're lunatics and they go after a lunar god. Christians are basically the same thing. They're the same thing. They have a sun god, though. Satan, Jesus Christ, birthed in the middle of the winter. Remember, Christ's Mass, the eating of the human flesh, eat my body, drink my blood. Catholicism, Catholic, see? They're all the same, see? It's all the same thing. So, yeah, Lutheran, Catholic, Orthodox, Roman Catholic, unorthodox, if you ask me, but that's okay. I don't do any canonization. All this has already been done, but this is this Muhammad kitty touch. Remember, Esau killed his brother Satan Nimrod, and he stole the inheritance from Nimrod. He stole the inheritance. This is the one that Donald Trump has his house decorated with. Not hard to tell, right? His 58-story tower in Satan's 58-story tower in Manhattan. I mean Babylon. Trump's 58-story Manhattan tower. Oh, there we go. See? The crescent moon. See, this moon is the lunar worship of sex. Like spring, like fools, April Fools, they do their dyeing of their eggs. Remember, the woman has the ovulation cycle and fertility and sex. Yeah, she had sex with her son Tammuz. That's why the people who go after the Quran, they like to, have sex like Muhammad with kids, and that's sickening. That's not, Father doesn't want you to touch kids. He said you'd better have a millstone tied around your neck and cast in the sea than to hurt one of my children. One hair, and he knows the number of hairs on our head, brothers, sisters, cause one to stumble. So those are the sons of God. That doesn't actually mean by child, like literally like age, so you understand. Sons of God are the children. So welcome. Ishtar is Semiramis. Semiramis is those northern pagan gods, the Gothic Vandals and the Visigoths, those tribes that were to the north that were worshiping these Baal gods. Baal in the grove. Grove is tree and Baal is sun. Baal, Jezebel. Ring a bell. Baal, Baal, Satan. Apollyon, the sun god, the one that Trump has his house decorated with. Mithra, at the time of Rome, Christ was the name of the sun god, Mithra. And he decorates his house. He's the bringer of the disease and the cure of the disease. His name is Apollo. Apollo or Abaddon. Abaddon John, you tell me. They both got a 58-story Nimrod tower. Nimrod, get it? Got your blood pumping? All right, just a tip. Now, remember, like their rockets, their cock rockets they send to outer space, farce balls. Father didn't create any planets. If you're in that band camp or ball camp, you got to go. There's no planets. Stars, sun, and moon, right? He said he would leave signs in the stars, sun, and moon, but he didn't create a planet, so don't get your space farce excited in here. Remember, he told us in Jeremiah, "Oh, heareth what the Lord say, O Israel, sons of God." Yeah, the bride. Learn not the way of the heathens, and they celebrated all these pagan gods. Be not dismayed at the ways of the sides of the firmament for the heathens. Don't be a heathen or get out of here. Yeah, the children of God, those are your brothers and your sisters and your mother. Those are the do the wills of the Father. How could that be a fallen? Fallen don't mean out of the sky. So don't get it twisted. Be not dismayed at the ways of the size of the firmament, for their traditions, their customs are vain. Their celebrations on their Yule wheel. This is all what Father is telling us in the book of Jeremiah. For one cutteth the tree. Moloch, Esau killed his brother. This is Moloch, Satan. He tree, grove, Baal in the grove. For one cutteth the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. Right? They bring it home and deck their halls with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la. Yeah. Mass A, Christ Mass. Let's birth the sun god. We'll all have an orgy. Everybody ready? Bring over your sheet. I'll get my Velcro gloves and my boots, and we'll get marinated in, chowder, breath, all that. Yep, sex, man, beast, and woman. The Mass A, the Saturnalia, the feast of the sun god. No, sun, Kronos, was the god of the time, and he marked so they thought they could slow the sun. These heathens didn't know. These pagans were idiots. They didn't know the equinox. They thought the sun was dying at the equinox. It was going away, and it was dying, and they prayed to the Tammuz, the son of Satan, the one who had sex with his mom, Semiramis. So, and they would erect like a Nimrod. Well, no, remember, Satan died. Christmas is Satan. Christ Mass, Mass A, Christ Mass, the eating of human flesh. Eat my body, drink my blood. Catholicism, crackers and grape juice. This is all how this works. It's all this Christmas, right? Christmas. Remember, I told you they love their Mass A. They're celebrating a birth. We're not supposed. There's only 2 birth dates in all of Scripture. One is Herod's, and he was trying to kill Christ. And this is not Christ. Was not born in the middle of the winter. And New Year's is not in the middle of the winter. You're an idiot. There's not 12 months in a calendar. You're an idiot. You like this up and down rocket, cock rocket, or just the tip, phallic. Just, yeah, they thought the sun was dying, and they prayed to Saturn to try to slow the sun at the equinox, equal day, equal night, 9:23, 12:23, 3:23, 6:23. It's like a cycle. It's like a Christmas wreath. It's a Yule wheel. This is called the Feast of the Yule. We have our feast days, brothers and sisters, correct? As Israel, Old Testament, right? Go 3 times a year to become part of the grafted into 2 turtle doves at the altar, circumcision of the flesh, water baptism, blasphemy. That's not baptism. Anyways, our set apart days, the Feast of Gatherings, the Feast of Tabernacles, unleavened. There are set apart days, but not these days, or not in Scripture. Now we don't celebrate any of those days, so you know. But God, come up to speed. Come on, this is a wheel. This is a time clock, right? They thought that they could slow the sun from dying to pray to this star. Father doesn't, gods aren't in the sky. This isn't a God, and there's not, God is never Father. We're going to go over that in this lesson. But we'll do a little refresh for you on why they love their God. Their Father said, don't celebrate anything, especially birth. And self is idolatry. He divorced his bride, Israel. And when it speaks of, hear that the Lord say, O Israel, or not the ways of the signs of the firmament, right? Be not dismayed. He said, learn not the ways of the heathens, and be not dismayed at the ways of the signs in this firmament. These celestial signs are there again in Matthew for times and seasons in Genesis. Yes, these are part of this marker star, but you can't go into the clouds and become a astronaut or project. These people are out of their minds. Yeah, no worries. We'll go refresh. We'll go round and round on their Yule wheel. That's what they do. These are Samhain rituals that are not in Scriptures, but these pagans thought the sun was dying at the equinox. Let these get these markers up here so you'll know what you're looking at, because people are very offended when they see this peace symbol, or it's been used in Hindu and all kinds of religions. I rebuke all your religions. You're vain. So at 9:23, and we talked about that date on the last live stream, okay? This date right here, 12:23, is a very kind of important date to me, just in my life, 12:23, because Christmas is Satan, and my dad, not my father, was Satan or Santa, and I didn't get much free, passes where I grew up in this concrete jungle. But because Dad, my father, he was over 500 pounds, he played a good Satan, and we prayed like heathens and had the tree mass of the grove in our house, and the Christmas killed my dad. He was Santa Claus, Satan, and it killed him. So, man, what a life was that. And it happened on 12/23 of 1989. And I was 16 years old. So it was quite an event. And people always wonder what's wrong with me and why I won't celebrate and why I'm they call me a Grinch and all that. And why did you tell your kid there's no such thing as Christmas and Jesus is not the reason for the season and all this? You ruin it for them. And I'm like, you know what? You raise your kid the way you want to raise yours. I raise mine. Move on. Nothing to see over here. Look over here. Don't look over here. Yeah. Well, anyway, so he says, come out of her, my people, brothers, sisters. We didn't always, like I said, when he was first couple birth dates and stuff, and they were like, no more of this. Not this, we didn't celebrate Christmas or anything like that. But even birth, the celebration of birth is called idolatry, self. And there's only 2 births in Scripture that they celebrate, which is the sun god, Satan, and Herod was trying to kill Christ, the Hamashiach, anointed in oil, the one born of Bethlehem. So we're not supposed to celebrate anything. Father's not going to hear this. Oh, well, he knows it. Look, we always do the same thing. We always do the same thing, brothers and sisters. We go and fall under gods in the sky. They thought gods in the sky. If you walk down the street right now and you ask somebody where God is at, I'm going to show you why all of this has been outlawed by the blotting out, the physical ordinance. The temple was literally destroyed. The prophecies were fulfilled. All the fulfilling of the rituals. I told you there were apart days, that we were, if you wanted to be grafted into the nation of Israel, become, part of that, set apart days. Those were the end gathering days, brothers, sisters, all this dispute of what day's the Sabbath. And we don't celebrate any of this anymore. We're not under the law. It's all fulfilled. It was all blotted out in the handwriting of ordinances in the book of Colossians 2:14. So, once written on tables of stone is now blotted out, written with blood, beard blood. They ripped his beard out of his face. They didn't hang him on a cross, and Christ did not carry a cross. You believe some kind of religious nonsense, like a cross, like a galactic cross, huh? Galaxy mind, you know what. But anyways, brothers, sisters, these people were idiots. And I was young back then. I didn't know. And I don't, my dad never said the word to me, Jesus. Oh, well, like a heathen, we pray, come Lord Jesus and all that. But that's not, I didn't have a relationship. I didn't know who the Hamashiach was. I was young. I was out of my mind in space and didn't like to do any of these things anyways. I didn't never even want to be here. So that's okay. Father keeps me here. A lot of people get irritated when I walk in the room. I don't even have to open up my mouth. Imagine that. Yeah, some of us just kind of, Father just makes us that way. But I don't, hey, black sheep of the family, if you will, or, it's set apart. How about that? It's a Black Sheep broadcast production here at High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries. We uncover all these religions. Father wrote, remember, through this, through Shiloh, the one that will return, you call Jesus, but we'll, for conversation, dialectus, glossus sake. Remember, he said he didn't dwell in temples, houses made by hands, brothers, sisters. This is not some religion. This is the word. In the beginning was the word. If I'm not mistaken, this is all created with that same resonance frequency. But anyways, we'll move on to the lesson, because people are lunatics. If you ask them, they think God's in the sky, and God has never once been in the sky. We'll explain that God only had one, which was the Jews and not the Gentiles. Father is I am. David declared him the Lamb of God. That makes him Aries, the ram. So if you haven't celestially have understanding, you think heaven is above your head, you've been misinformed. There is no heaven above your head. The heavens in Genesis, that's when the creation of the heavens and earth does not have anything to do with below your feet. You don't live on a planet Earth. There is no planets. You're adding to Scripture in Revelation. I am Pastor Revelation, and I turn this up. We've just recently been unshadow banned, so this isn't a church. Once again, he said he didn't dwell in houses or temples made by hands. The Most High does not dwell in houses or temples. And this isn't drugs for all you people think and reference your drug usage. Go take your Mexican American Adderall or whatever these references. You're swine. You support a system that literally has stuck. I'm a veteran. That's pretty. Wearing a face diaper, standing on an X, huh? That's freedom. Dum. You won't stand. Christ stood up to the halakha. If you don't know what that term is, you might want to leave now, because you don't know who Christ. There's two Jesus. How about that? We'll get one of you riled up, huh? A bunch of you religious idiots. Remember, he wrote the letters to the church of Philadelphia was one which we are the closest. The letter to the 7 churches, all of them, none of them were even worthy, brothers, sisters. None of us are now. Only by faith. The Greek word is sozo, save, salvation. You can't be saved. That's no such thing as being. That's Greek word sozo. You must endure to the end to be saved. So go on with your religious idiocracies and don't study and pray. It's pray. The word is pray. And I don't mean like folding your hands like a heathen. Pray means to have face-to-face time with Father. You won't define. Definition. He said, I am the Aletheia. We'll do a little lesson for you. He said, I am the Hados. I am the Hados. Hados means to narrow. He said, I am the way. That means the narrow way. Okay? The narrow way. The only way you're going to get any kind of growth, brothers and sisters, out of this word, you have to deny self. He says this in the book of Matthew. He tells us to enter through the straight gate, not by the broad way, but through the narrow way. Narrow is the word hados. That means to be in the same narrow way as Christ. So if you never saw this lesson, this is the greater than and less than. You want Christ to grow inside you, you can put yourself right here in this lesson to prove that you're not a corporation like me. I'm not all in capital letters. If there's another lesson for you, for those that are support our Constitution in America and will defend it no matter what. I took an oath to this Constitution to defend it. The people, yeah, all enemies, foreign and domestic. So I'm a tyrant veteran. I don't like that, what the hell I did. And hell's not a place. It's the word bis, knowledge, busos, bathos, no knowledge. That's what hell is. It's not a place. So moving on with this lesson here for you. He says in the book of Matthew, the Greek word, again, idolatry is porneia. You could put your name, self in this. He said, who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves. Now, you can take you, if your name is Steve, you could be big S, smaller T, smaller E, smaller V, smaller E. So insert your name. You can write this down. It's not some church, okay? He said, where there are 2 or 3 gathered in my agape, my Shem, there I'll be. Shem is what he said. That's the word, well, authority, agape, that's love, but we'll go over that. So the Greek word is porneia, or idolatry. Porneia, it means to serve self. Who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves. Take up your cross. And he's not talking about he wasn't hung on a cross. Blasphemy. He never hung from a cross. He didn't carry a cross. I rebuke you. You sound like a religious idiot saying he hung on a cross and he did not carry a cross. He tells you, who shall ever come after me, let them deny themselves daily. Take up your cross, daily cross, he said. OCD, a veteran, is that like excessive compulsive disorder? Or this guy's got some kind of, we called it attention to detail. No, it's called on Christ daily. I've gotten the Jesus juice. That's what's wrong with me. Grow up. Yeah, OCD. You too could be OCD like me. It's all right. Deny self daily. This is the Greek word idolatry, brothers, sisters, porneia. Idolatry, if you speak any Greek or English, it's idolatry. Latria means to serve. To thieves that'll steal your inheritance. He said in Revelation 3:11, I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. There's 2 kings, brothers, sisters. So deny yourself daily. Take up your cross daily. That means it's 7 days a week under your Gregorian lunatic pagan calendar, Satanistic calendar, 365 days. If you do that silly nonsense and you think it's 2025, it's not 2025. There's not 12 months in a year. 52 pickup, you ever play cards? All right, but anyways, we're going to distract from the lesson. This Greek word here is porneia, idolatry, and I'm not talking about hub or pulling your chain. I'm talking about service other than agape. A-G-A-P-E. That is the word love. Wherever you see that word in your watered-down version of your text, scratch that out and put that word. That doesn't exist in Scripture. And he said in Revelation, I am Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse. That's what they call this ministry. It's a thing. We just got shadow. This channel could be at least at $250,000, $500,000 if they just unrestrain it. In 2 months, we made 18,000 and we stayed still in 2 months nearly. And just recently did we come off shadow ban. And so we hopped back up and now we're at a 20K. So whatever, I normally do this at milestone. It doesn't matter. He can shut the channel back down and take all of you away except for the body, the elect here that are in the narrow way. I don't sup with vipers. I don't cast my pearls in the mud. So if he's blessed you with a seeing eye, that means apocalypse. Lift the veil. I am Pastor Apocalypse to remove the scales from the eyes of those that are blind and give them an unrestrained ear. No, otherwise it falls on deaf ears. It's like I'm talking until I'm blue in the face like a Canaanite, like copper blue bloods. All right, moving on. Deny themselves daily, take up your cross daily. OCD, brothers, sisters, and follow after me. So Christ, if you want Christ to grow in you, Christ, watch this, smaller C, because you're a baby believer. Look at big old you, big old self, Christ, C-H-R. Every time you're willing to cut off just thyself, Christ inside you grows, and that's a pagan term, but we'll use it for conversation's sake. No such thing as speaking in tongues. So he grows inside of you. Well, what do you know? Yeah, agape means love. That's what we just put there. The highest form of agape is what? 2 John and 6. Define it. Can you help out there? Hey, we got some teachers in there. Good. He said, call no man teacher. Well, they're sharing the agape, the light. He said, don't hide it in a basket. So under this agape, I'm not under flesh. So don't shoot the messenger. So, okay, anyways, are you seeing this, brothers, sisters? We'll take a pause. It's a thank you stream, so it's not a religion. We do talk to you can go see Brother Jim Brown. There is a live stream he does every Wednesday and Sunday, and I mirror. This comes from Brother Jim's teaching. This is the horn of plenty. Okay, so the Greek word is porneia, or idolatry. This is the book of Matthew. Okay, who shall ever come after me? That is I am. David declared him the Lamb. The Lamb of God is Aries the ram. Aries, remember? The tabernacle, the place where Saturn and Jupiter conjuncted, the triple conjuncted to create the fate nation of Israel. It's a spiritual Israel, you idiots. Grow up. Learn not the way of the heathens, for one cut of the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They bring it home. They deck it with silver and gold and stand erect like a palm tree, fasten it with nails and hammers. There you go, Nimrod. Anyway, so this is their worship. The other Christ. This is not their Christ. This is the Hamashiach. You have to deny yourself. Inside of you is Christ, brother, sister. You don't dwell in a physical temple. That has all been fulfilled, and we'll cover that as well. Hindu, there we go. Somebody's like, oh, I'm not offended. I know what this is. This has been used in Hindu and Reiki, and so some of you people are awake. He does not. Many are called, but the word. Let's. All right. Anybody questions on how what this is telling you? Is anybody moved by this? Hopi, there we go. It's been around since the time of since millennia. No, not to each their own. That's not how it works. Father only loves. The word is O-L-I-G-O-S. Oligos. Oligos, because we can bounce off, thank you, Father, into the next lesson. Oligos. Father only loves oligos. Oligos find the straight gate. So we'll continue, we'll bounce off of his. If you do not deny yourself, you are going to enter by the broad way. This is the broad way, because you're not denying self. Because he tells you we're going to bounce off this lesson because it's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. He's my love, my agape, my Shem, my authority. He's a 7-day Jesus, 7-day gospel, 7-day Sunday, 7-day Sunday. Or yeah, they even on Sunday, even after Saturday's Friday, you had to get everything prepared. Saturday, you had to sit on your butt, but every day I walk and follow in his commandments. So if you want to go to hell, and hell isn't a place, and hell isn't in space, and space isn't above your head, or get out of my space. Oh, here we're going to have to, oh, look at that. So, all right. So, because he tells us once again, we're staying in the book of Matthew. So this isn't a religion. So if you're one of these religions, this probably isn't jiving with you because you're not supping in the narrow way. Who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves. You got to narrow yourself. This is the way you lead to the wide gate. Yep. See this is, there's no narrowing here. See, it's like a sieve. Remember, like a sieve, because he says enter through the straight gate. In order to get through the straight gate, you do not have to deny self, brother says. Don't fool yourself. He tells you that in the book of Matthew. He says enter through the straight gate, not the wide gate. The wide gate's the gate that leads to the word ABYSS, where Donald Trump's house is decorated. Donald Trump is 9/11. The sun god. He's not the Antichrist. He is 9/11 because 4 plus 5 equals 9 and 4 plus 7 equals 11. I don't need to do math with you guys. Probably some of you guys are smarter than that, right? 2 plus 2 equals 5. What? Where the hell do you get that? Abyss is the word hell. Now, wait a minute. 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes. Now, that doesn't add up to me. Wait a second. Somebody's on that Common Core Christian cotton candy religious politics nonsense. Father hates capitalism. Father hates pride. Yeah, he had a ruling class. So, 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes, huh? Remember, building 7, not tower 1 and 2, like the Nimrod Tower or Trump Tower, but building one was CIA headquarters. So just so you know, the CIA watches this channel and monitors this channel. So does the state police, and so does the local county police that's in this county that I'm in, because I'm a veteran and I stand for the Constitution, and I am a man of the word. Father birthed me to do this, and if he birthed me to be a soldier of God, and then I took an oath to the Constitution, they said defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So my tour service on my Echo Tango Sierra, my DD-214, honorable discharge does not end. I'm going to continue to serve. Well, first, a soldier. He said, come out. I got to learn from my mistakes. But I continue to serve the Constitution because they perverted it. And Christ stood up to the perverted halakha, which was the Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, which is not no religion. That was the Torah, and that was the Jewish law that applied to Aaron and Levite. He didn't love everybody because he didn't love the Gentiles. So I don't want to hear that as cracker Christian nonsense, lollipop, Father hated Esau before Esau had ever done anything, remember, or born or done anything. And he killed his brother Satan, the one Trump has his house decorated with, and stole his inheritance. And this is all about an inheritance. If you're just coming into the fold here and this is in the narrow way, it will ring. If not, don't worry, it'll fall on deaf ears. So I don't have to explain myself. Just write it down. Don't interrupt, because we're in a whiteboard session here. It is a thank you live stream, but I have moderators. If you're the word sin, mark, like the mark of the beast, that's the word karak or character. There is no physical mark of the beast. That the word sin means to be off the mark. So please go on. You don't define anything. I'll throw up books here in the middle so you can see the text that's only 12th century canonized, where they took out every one word and defined it. So if you're not speaking in definition, don't worry about these symbols. He warns about idolatry and imagery. You'll probably be overcome. Learn not what the ways of the heathens, and be not dismayed at the ways of the signs of the firmament. Their customs, their traditions, their rituals, their celebrations are vanity. I know it's wild, isn't it? This is how this goes, man. Round and round they go on their candy holidays. They used to bake sugar to their sex god Semiramis, brothers and sisters. I'm so old that I don't drink soda, but that was a treat. We eat box, bag, and can poison. Okay, our body's a temple. It's not what goes in a man that defiles us, brothers and sisters. It what comes out of us. So I apologize. I'd had some foul potty mouth because I'm a veteran and I've stripped of every right in this country as an American. Without a criminal record, I only have just a First Amendment left. I've lost my second. They've violated my fourth. They've stripped me of that Second Amendment. They have taken and violated my fourth, sixth, 14th, 8th. I mean, you can go back and watch, they'll drop link on the playlist or something. You can go watch the playlist if you like to. Christ stood against the perverted halakha, brothers, sisters, was a perversion. And I'll teach you this. If you can hang out, we'll show you how easy this is to unfold. That's the word apocalypse, or lift off. Actually, unfold would be like Christ, how he left that a veil left neatly folded of his return, the resurrection, that he would come back and redeem his bride. When they feel that they veiled him after they hung him, not on a cross. He never carried a cross. I rebuke you if you think if somebody told you Christ was hung on a cross, you do not know Romans, that you do not know Constantine, you do not know the Council of Nicaea, you don't know the canonization. You are falling for another Jesus. In Paul's writing, he warns, even Christ himself warned of many. So people are idiots. And that is not an insult. They will not define. I'm not better than anybody, brothers and sisters. My life is a living hell right now, but I'm not going to stop defending and using the last right as an American, defendant. Your constitutional right. I will not stand down and I will not be silenced. I've been just recently, less than a year ago, hit in the face with a grenade, and here I am. So I don't want to get into that right now. I want to stay on this lesson. It's a thank you live stream. I know this is not what you're going to learn in any church. He said that the Most High doesn't dwell in temples. He is horizo, not north and south. He said, I am the horizo, and every morning at the horizon, the sun would come up at the morning light. And that means I am the separator. I am the divider of the dark and the light. the day and the night. You're just been told, sold on a lie that this is a symbol that was been around long before Hitler, you know, the seventh king locked in the pit. There you go. There's a gem for you that we reveal this is spiritual Antichrist, not, yes, the Antichrist. You change one letter in Scripture, you are Antichrist. You're a Nephilim is what you are, a bully. Nobody has to sex with you to be a Nephilim. You children have grown up on television thinking that stars in the sky are gods, like Anakin Skywalker or something, Nanu, high priest of the Satan church. That's what that symbol is, MAGA. That's the high priest of the Satan church. Do as thou will, huh? There's no such thing as free will. Grow up. The Greek word is idolatry. Idolatry, porneia, self, service of self, lies to self. A demon is to service to others. You ever met a demon? By definition, a demon is a distributor of fortunes. There's no such thing as fortunes. A fortune teller, palm reading. Oh, come over here. Let me go. I'm going to blow on my bottle, my wineskin. We'll have all this Mandela effect. Yeah. And I'll throw my voice like a ventriloquist. You pay me $5 and, oh, hey, you come in and rub on my balls. I'll rub my crystal ball until you lie. Shut up. You're a child. There's no such thing as fairy is a Celtic demon. A genie is an Arab demon. A demon is a distributor of fortunes and lies. So no such thing as free will. So there's no such thing as luck. So there's no such thing as fortune. You're an idiot. Grow up. Father created all things. He knows where the dice will land. That's right. The Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, all things, everything that ever was, everything written, everything not written, everything that ever will be. And Father creates good and Father creates I am. He said before Abraham was, I am evil. And that's what gets these religious idiots too, like mostly the Christians are Satanists. Satan means the adversary. They change. They think God is Satan is Jesus Christ, birthed in the manger in the middle of the winter on December 25th after a 7-week orgy where they marinated a peasant and called him the king of the Yule wheel. This was outlawed in America. Christmas is an orgy. George Washington said, you can't do this. I'll throw you in jail. I'll fine you. But Americans are like, I'm going to get my New Year's beer on and I'm going to bang again. Here we go. The boss's wife tonight, huh? More drunk driving goes up there. Suicide goes up. Depression. Everybody, I got to get these gifts. Oh, sugar holidays. Sugar. Remember they baked hot cross-top buns to Semiramis, the sex goddess. Yep. What? It stopped raining and my puppies need to go outside. Oh, it's puppy time. Yeah, we're doing it live. We'll do it live. Just because sin. Who the hell is this guy? Uh-oh. Somebody's worried about their eyes. Don't worry about your eyes. He said he would send 2 witnesses. Jesus, which Jesus and which king? There's 2 kings and 2 Jesus in Scripture. Uh-oh. Many Christ, he said, will come in my Agape, my Shem, my authority. Uh-oh, I lost the tip. Just the tip, baby. That's the government. They want to put in just the tip. Remember all that scamdemic? I'm a veteran, so I'm going to still stand up for your rights, whether they take a ball or not. I got a First Amendment. Remember? Any ladies, remember? How did that work out for you when he said he wanted to put in just the tip? You ended up getting the whole rocket, didn't you? I mean, shaft. Oh, wait. Outer space. All right, we're going to be real in here tonight. We're having a unbanning, shadow banning. Thank you. We hit 18,000 in a couple of months, guys. A couple years we've been banned, but somehow the rhythm, like a computer, like bang, bang on the rhythm or on the drum. No, like an algo, like a sequence of series of, a computer virus. No, like a math, like, uh-oh, there they all go. You better be using your spiritual calculator in here, like equals. Come on, if you take some from here, you got to give it back over here. Basic equations. Come on, guys. It's got to add up, okay, right? If it doesn't, then that would be unstable. Kind of like, remember, if you were stable, brothers and sisters, you would die. You turn into a statue, correct? You remember the periodic table? You got your stable your stable elements, your unstable. Who's unstable here? You tell me. You know, like a rhythm, frequent cycle, you know, wave. There's computers don't learn, just so you know. A lot of people are thinking there's AI. You're an antichrist idiot is what you are. A computer doesn't learn. Quantum physics, quantum computing, that is basics, okay? Come on. I have a bit better study, so I'm not going to let you change me and try to tell me that all this space farce and all these robots and have rights and feelings, because this is where all this is already gone and going to continue to head, because you people won't pay attention to the scriptures. You're already fooled by sorcery is what it says. That is the word pharmakia. Yeah, Mr. Warp Speed. So they have more plans for you. Your 15-minute cities, your millimeter wave dome technology. You can go back on this live stream, and that's why it's been shadow banned, because we're exposing the governments, or they're just loving you, and now they got a 48-hour jab for you. Yeah, they're going to cure all your cancer. They love you. It was warp speed, less time than it takes for a woman to come to child, Revelation 12 sign to come to pass. And now they're going to do it like, 48 hours, the movie. People are into television. So maybe if I start telling them more lies through their vision, like they got stung when they were a child, went to public schools and started spelling curses in cursive and putting their, they go with the flow. We went to the moon. How come the boot doesn't match the print? Anyways, who took who was the first one on the moon, right? Was the person who took Neil Armstrong's picture, right? What's going on? What's happening? Money is energy. Well, money is gold and silver. So paper is currency. Remember? A nation that traded its minerals for paper payments. What an apostate nation. I am American, by the way, so you know. But hey, they stripped me of all my rights, so I'm going to continue to use my First Amendment. Congress gave it to me. It's actually the federal government is not there to make, or a president to make laws. Congress shall establish no law. Remember, this was judication, right? Judicial process. Legislative, we had a democratic process as part of our voting process, but we are not a democracy. This is not fascism, serfism. Yes, it is. This is like back to the king. And they sell all the labor of the slaves by the bond. They're bonded and merchandised as merchants. Numbers, social credit score, no. So you're a card like a deck, no, it's a credit by birth. Your parents sold you out. You know anything I'm talking about? You better stand up to this. Are you going to be judged by a corporation? Do I look like a corp to you? Do I look unstable? Remember the periodic table? Oh my gosh, this guy's out of his mind. Lots of talking, but no real meaning. See, it's falling on deaf ears. Some of you guys are going, holy smokes. See, I don't need you, then leave. You don't have to stay here. It'll fall on deaf ears. If this isn't like hados, how about by definition? How about translation? You go after a transgender Jesus, a sex pistol. Let me see your decimai. Everybody get their hands up. No, I know it don't relate to you because you go to some house made by hand. You're not describing anything. You're not. You can't. And I'm not worried about turning a goat into a sheep. Remember, this is a black sheep production broadcast. Broadcast means to sow seeds. He said the enemy came and sowed seeds while you were sleeping. Are you asleep? Not like go to sleep. I mean, like, spiritually. Hokadesh, Ruach. You speak any Greek? Olegas. Did we put that up on the board yet? Right there. Coming in, man. Oh, man. Oh, shit. It's the cops. Fuck the police. Oh, I apologize. It's not the cops. Someone's at the door. Uh-oh. It's the kitten. The kittens are hungry too. All right, guys. I gotta feed these puppies. We got puppies whining, kittens at the door. I apologize. I didn't mean to curse. I'm a bad man. I'm a veteran. Hey, you heard of a song called "Fuck the Firefighter"? Have you? Yeah, these cops a firefighter will run in and save your daughter, your dog. These cop suckers try to kill my dogs, so you gotta try to be easy with me. If you could. Yeah, they're gerbil. All a cop cares is about officer safety. Correct? I know I used to be a pig, so I can speak up. Military pig in the army. So I got to feed my mules. Okay? I already got birds, and I'm on a farm, and I didn't apologize for the cursing. I'm a flawed man. So to be serving public, brothers, sisters, and I used to do this, as you know, and I'm offended by the fact that these people didn't stand up for the right of the people during, you know, stand on the X, wear your face diaper. I thought veterans wore masks, so you had a choice. Said about freedom, da dum dum dum. It was about the right to choose, and they take that from this American people. They've stripped me of every right except for my First Amendment, so I'm going to use it. So you have to take a pause for a cause. Subscribe to the channel. Go watch the playlist. Want to go get me SWAT rated by the state of Oregon? Christ got thrown in jail, brothers, sisters. I've now been thrown in jail twice for standing up against the law. That's what happens. You know what I care about? Am I doing this by Father's will or by the will of my own self? And I don't think that I am, brothers, sisters. As a veteran, Father creates two kinds of people no matter what: service to self and service to others. So I continue to do what Father, he's the wind in my sail. But I do have a physical body here, and I have animals, and we're supposed to be good stewards over the dominion of these things. So I got to take care of these. The sun's going to go down out here. It's raining. I'd like to feed my animals one more time before they go nest and put themselves to bed. Go collect the eggs. We'll bring in and see how many we got. We'll show you. I eat eggs right off the backside of a chicken, baby. I'm living the American dream. I'm not somebody like you. I make my own power, and I, you know, got my own resources, and you know, I'm not some kind of guy that's but Father. Well, you're looking at the old as a cat. We're in here. I'm on the live, man. I'm doing it live. So give me a second, take a pause for a cause. I want to answer this. I'll be back, brothers, sisters. Go look at the playlist. I'll be back in a moment. All right. Hey, good. We got them all out of there. Hey, I apologize, guys. That's a very important phone call. Extremely important phone call. That was the call about the ministry, the new ministry. So we'll pile back in here. I apologize again. I haven't even fed the dogs. I am working on trying to get this other location so that I can have a place to have consistent power, so I don't have to rely on a solar source to power a freeze dryer. So back into the freeze dry game when I can get more. Well, I need constant power. I don't want to try to run a freeze dry. I've had 5 before, and I don't want to try to do that. So part of this ministry is providing potentially for the locals in the community here, and by providing abundance, by having the ability to have people come out here, and eventually it's all going to come together. I've been working on this project for 15 plus years, and now I've secured the ministry here, this 20 acres, and installed the archive, and so the books are protected no matter what the storm or will of Father. But anyways, I'll be back in just a moment, and I apologize for the interruption. That's good. We had, you know, almost a couple hundred people in there, and we'll get back to the lesson. But it is what it is. Life's not Burger King. Life's timing is what it is. You know, Father's timing. So I appreciate your patience. Appreciate the love. Love is patient. Got to be patient with Father. If you be patient with me, I'm going to feed these animals, and that'll only take me a couple moments here, and make sure my ducks are up. And sorry it had raining. It stopped raining. I'll be back. All right. I was that close. It started raining again. Let me take care of these other animals, guys. coming inside. All right. All right, we got 3 today. This is a blue. Doesn't look very blue in this because the lighting, and so some beautiful eggs. I'll be having some eggs for breakfast. So thank you for fresh eggs out here at the farm. A little wet out there. The birds had to get ducks like that. They were out there in the wet. The ladies were all put up there themselves already, but let me get these eggs up and get the dogs fed. We'll get back to the thank you live stream here. Thank you, Father, for bringing them in. So they can goes with an eye to see, and an ear to hear. Boy, that lady, she almost keeps up with them big birds, man. I know that she good layer. Good layer. Thank you for fresh eggs. They'll last. The bloom is still on those. I don't wash those. I don't need to wash them. I have to keep my bedding clean. I don't have to worry about poop on the eggs. If you just keep your bedding nesting area clean, don't put anything roost in that area, and they won't go up on that area. Just nice clean eggs. Blue. Little variance in the brown, but that's, we got that's what they do. This one bird lays all these eggs. She just lays an egg. It's just, man, she don't stop. So thank you, Father, for good protein coming from a good natural organic source, not some watered down 30-day eggs from the store with no bloom. And I raise these chickens, so I know what they put in them, and I make my own feed for them, and they get kind of spoiled. So rise and shine, mother cluckers. All right, I'll be back in a moment. Let me feed these mules, my animules. What are you doing here, Tweepy? Here's the channel kitty. If you've never seen Juniper, she was here since she was just a little tiny girl when she was a kitten. And she's our channel kitty here in the high desert. She keeps the birds down. Well, I don't do that, but she keeps all the rodents and all the mice and all that. She's a pretty girl. And her tail is my favorite, but she doesn't like to show her tail. That tail has got the cutest little white, gray. Oh, she said, don't touch my tail. She's my girl. Huh. You love the dad? Say, you're all wet, Dad. I'm wet. So get off of me. All right. Thanks for coming in. We're having us a live stream. A thank you, 20K. We got on channel ban for a moment. Looks like we're still unbanned at the second. We'll see how long Father will keep that going for, but he creates all things, so it's on him, not me. All right, you guys are, let's get these kitties fed first. The kittens. And that will feed you. I gotta get that. Yeah, there. Gotta feed these kittens. Where's your brother's bowl? Let's get your brother's bowl. Where's your bowl, Mr. Bobo? Let's go get your bowl, Mr. Bobo. Mr. Yotter Boy. Mr. Yotter. I want some pecans. Hold on, sweet girl. Hold on, sweet girl. Eating breast food there. Like I got rained on a little bit. Go on, sweetie, I'll get you some breast. Hang on, the diamond right. You're a good girl. Those are up there, boy. There you go for the getting it. So I'll take this outside. I might get the boy. All right. Make sure that their food didn't get all rained on. They got to play eat it more dry. Now the big guy. Now my biggest guy. All right, here's the puppy gravy. Puppy gravy. Child goes first. The biggest guy's first. My biggest guy. Our biggest guy. Mr. Yoder. Mr. Bats. Good guys. You guys are such good puppies. You guys were good boys today. You guys are always good boys. All right, where did my coffee go? Back to the lesson. All right, I got some pecans, eating some pecans here. All right, appreciate your patience. Some good pecans there. So I apologize for the interruption. I'm going to do something with this lighting. Gotta do something about the lighting. Maybe we get some kind of light going this way. All right. All right, there we go. We got some kind of lighting there, so I'm not gonna look like I get a black face. All right. All they worry about is idolism and imagery. So, whoa. I'll point that a little further away from me. Shining right from the light in my eyes. We gotta damper that down a little bit. All right. Wow, just wow. Wow, just wow. Wow. Wow, Mom. You know, if you get a W on one butt cheek and you get a W on the other and you do cartwheels, you can say, wow, Mom. Wow, Mom. Oh, never mind. Two cheeks to the same hole. What's like that? Hey, he's hooked on the World of Warcraft, man. It's a kiddie game to most people, brothers, sisters, kiddie game. Childish. Childish, childish, childish. Was that good dinner, my mules, my little puppy dogs? All right, got hot coffee. We'll get you. Oh, well, now we got the Muppets in here. See, I told you, children. Gonzo with the wind, right? All right. Well, that coffee got cold, but that's all right. I'm going to go heat it up. And we'll get going again. Pecans. The man's nuts. Grab them. Keep your hands to yourself. Let's heat this up again. You guys can stop raining. You guys can go outside and go potty. Hold on. Good boy. Oh no. Oh God. I'm gonna have to fix that. Just wow. The dude came on and said, "Wow, mom. Wow, mom." Ha ha. You guys are out of your mind. I'm the crazy one, huh? I'm the crazy guy. There's a little bit of coffee left at the bottom there. Dump that out. This dude is a whack job, man. Oh my gosh, we got a psychiatrist in here, brothers, sisters, going to be handing out free psychological mental evaluations in the matter of moments. It's going to happen. I can feel it already. I'm going to try to push some drugs on me, like the president of the United Corporation, biggest drug dealer ever was to walk the rock, Donald John. Hey, Noah was conspiracy theorist for 126 years, and then he wasn't. Right? Whack. I mean, like a dose? Whack? Or are you whacking off? There's a place called The Hub. You can go over there and pull your chain somewhere else if you like. Nimrod, pole, worship, idolatry. Yeah, it's in the book of Luke. And then it rained. The man's nuts. Grab him. All right. Thanks for coming in. We're having a little whiteboard lesson here. There's only people hearing ear and an eye to see. All people care about is idolatry in this day and age. They're demonic. Demonic meaning they have, they lie. They're liars. They're fortune tellers. Because there's no such thing as fortunes. There's no such thing as palm reading, and they don't even understand a tarot is not shuffle a deck, and they're idiots. Can't come rub my ball or rub my crystal ball and tell you futures, and there's no prophecy. It's all written already. Your Father already created, wrote all things from the foundation of the world. So 99% of the people, they defile, they fornicate with their own agape, and they believe in gods in the sky and fairy tales. Believe in Christmas and sex pistol worship, you know. Let me see your Decamites, a stick up. Death ray, huh? How about millimeter wave? All right, 5G whiz, huh? Here we go round in circles. Yeah, look at this. We got another fortune teller here rubbing his balls, or rubbing his crystal ball, trying to tell you futures and fortunes, and there's no such thing as luck. There's no such thing as free will. So God created all things. Stop adding. In Revelation, it says don't add. You know what a jot? Probably not. You know what a tittle is? Stop playing with your fiddle. Not like, you know, the devil went down to Georgia. All right, stop eating the nuts. The man's nuts. Grab them, right? Pecans, those are good. Nice fresh pecans. So, I don't eat candy, so sugar's poison. They should put a skull and crossbones like Illuminati symbols on them or something, huh? Yep. One eye. Get it? She's the one I love. Oh, she's my Cyclops. Oh, she moves her body like a psycho. Oh, are you enjoying the live stream? We've been interrupted by calls, but I had to take that call because we're forwarding the ministry. We're forwarding the ministry. There we go. There was the call. So we got to get this ministry taken care of. We're going to be able to hook up a freeze dryer, and the food that's grown out here will be able to put into this freeze dryer and be able to have some stability. So it'll work for, I don't plan on being here. I'm going to the equal door, baby. The Exodus from Americant. I hate America. I don't hate the people. I hate the sinner, not the sin, right? Yeah, I hate the sin, not the sinner. You got it backwards. I don't hate the country. Yes, I hate the country. I don't like what it's become. So we're mixing it up there. Well, no, I don't hate the sinner. I hate the sin. And I hate the country, not the people in it. The people are trying to actually stand up for the right. And I wanted to go there to grow food to ship back up here. There's food that's down there I can't grow here. So I hate the corporation. Thank you. I don't hate the people. I hate the corporation. So what do you grow? Well, Goose, down there, there's 25 different fruit trees on the property, this 2-hectare parcel they've been looking at for, you know, half a decade or better. I know I've been looking at for a long time. It's nearly doubled in price, but that's okay. They've installed a driveway, a pool. There's 20 plus fruit trees just on that property, guava, star, all those kinds of nut stuff that doesn't grow, aguacate, all these different, and that's not even including the vegetable garden. Not any single fertilizer has never been brought onto that property. It's only been organically fertilized by the property itself. So I'm looking to grow organically and stop eating food that's poison. Our body's a temple, and I'm not under any physical, I have to eat this, I can't eat this. That I'm not, some fake, Muslim or some kind of person that doesn't eat pork. I don't eat pork because it's a low energy. There's certain things I just don't eat because I choose not to, but I can eat what I want. You can't defile yourself by food. We're not under that covenant of the dietary law. So hopefully we get back to the lesson. We'll teach some of that. But I choose to go to a place where I can throw a seed in the dirt and it's going to grow nearly no matter what. You know what I mean? So there's vegetable garden there. It's a 5 acre or 2 hectare parcel, and it's got 2 springs. One coming from above that's inch and a half coming in, and one down on the bottom, and there's another place for a landing. So I plan on bringing people from the ministry down there too. I want this ministry. This is a worldwide ministry. High Desert Faith and Truth is not just because I'm here in the high desert. It's a worldwide ministry. And so Ecuador is kind of an equal place. It's an equal door. So there it's a constitutional republic is why I've chosen it, because I'm a United States Army veteran. And this country has stripped me of every right by standing up for it. They've literally stripped me back to my First Amendment. I don't have a Second Amendment. I don't have not been convicted of a crime, and yet I have been my right to defend myself, my animals. If a cougar came off the hill right now and my dogs are out there getting attacked, I just have to let that cougar eat my animal. I can't even defend myself anymore. So I'm looking for an exodus because of my involvement in defending this. What now corporation I thought was a constitutional republic. I'd like to return where I thought to a constitutional republic, and Ecuador is a constitutional republic. There are many people from the U.S. that have gone there and live a normal life, and that doesn't mean that I would not stop serving the people of the country. So they stripped this man right here is my moderator from his son for hanging out with me because his name was mentioned on my paperwork. I can prove that. They had no bill. I already told you he had full legal custody of his child. He was only allowing his, his ex he's a good guy to see his son, which they were trying to co-parent. And he literally had showed me the first time. I said, bullshit. I've been fought for 8 years in Oregon. You got to have a parenting schedule, parenting guideline, all this. And he showed me his paperwork. And not that they agreed that, it wasn't a bad split up between the two. I don't want to air any of their laundry or anything, but they left like human beings. It was not some big blowout. I respect that they both didn't make the kids be affected. A lot of adults do that, and they take it out on the kids. So anyways, well, that's what it ended up being. And I don't know, because I didn't know the whole situation. Like I said, it's not a perfect marriage, but they parted, as for what I could see, without, it damaging the kids. And a lot of the times it does. It hurts the kids more because the parents can't get along when they should really just have separated years ago. And I think that might have been the thing, is that we're just kind of staying together for the kids, keeping it. This man is a pacifist like myself. He doesn't, now I speak up and he will, but he doesn't want confrontation, but he's a good man. And they both were taking care of their kids when I saw him, and so I don't think that, when he showed me the paperwork, it was just kind of strange because she had agreed that, he had sole custody, and he deemed necessary to give her visitation. He could choose to do so. Now, normally in the state of Oregon, and they do this, it's called a shared custody agreement or arrangement. Generally, the judge will sign off on something, and if you cannot agree, they will take over what is called, a parent gets full custody, normally every other weekend, which is stupid. And that doesn't mean, it's crazy. What you think about, what you get your child 2 months out of the year or something like that. It's not being a parent. So anyways, he took his child there to let his mom, see, I told I aired it out already. His son came to me very concerned that his mom was going to take him. And I reassured this young man that, don't worry, I'll make sure I'm there and your dad's there. Nobody's going to take you. You're worried about adult things. This is just go be with your mom and love your mom and enjoy yourself and have a good summer vacation. Your dad's don't worry about that. Just be a kid. You're worried about adult things. And he sat down and we talked to him, and I didn't want to, get all involved, but he's, like I said, I like Gene. I was a single dad and their parents, and I know what it's like to be, be a single dad. I've kind of, and mom, it's not easy. I did it for 8 years. So, he let his ex see his kid and their kid, not his kid, their kid. And, she kept him. She wouldn't let him have him back. And this wasn't any very long into the visit, I mean, she could have probably kept him for the whole vacation, but she put the brakes on it real quick. You're not getting him back. And it went against the guideline that the judge had signed off. So she was really custodial interfering with the visitation, where she didn't even have to she didn't, by the literal paperwork, he did not have to give her that visitation, but he's a good man and wanted to co-parent and let her take, he came to me and he got a controller. And, I like the guy, the young boy. I told him, hey, you want to get rid of him, give him to me. He kind of reminds me of me. He's a different young man, So, anyways, but either way, right? Yeah, I know it's Class C felony, but anyways, so that's where he'd called me. And like I said, I was able to help him out, and I didn't want to go because I got some stuff, and that kind of feel bad because I didn't show up and, and wasn't there, but we were able to facilitate. He called me and we worked it out, and he was able to leave that night and go get his son. He'd contacted the Department of Human Services, whatever they're called. I don't know what their label is now. They're all the same thing, but didn't go in there and cause a scene, and got a hold of the law enforcement. And, he did what was right. He contacted him. They contacted him and said, in the morning time they would meet there. And yes, she was custodial interfering with his, rights, and that it was time he wanted his son back because she was not, literally saying, you're not going to get him back. And the Child Protective Service, or not child, I don't think it was a CPA, but one of the, DHS or whatever they call themselves. It wasn't, brothers, sisters, there was no failure for Gene. Had done nothing wrong. Apologize. It is what it is. I've been on it. It is what it is. But anyways, we're not going to hide it. It's out in the open. But either way, they stepped in and he got his son back, and he brought him back here, back to where he was at. He went to school here. This is where all his friends are at for, his life. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a different faction, and that's, yeah, I know. I've been in. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I wanted to help this guy out. I mean, I wasn't enemies with his ex, and I'm not enemies with him. I know it's not easy to co-parent and stuff. So I wanted to support this. I really did. That's why I sat down and talked with his son and said, look, man, nobody's going to take you. Everybody's going to be all right. We'll come and get you. I'll be there if you need to be, I'll be there. I'll make sure. Just go be a kid, have fun. Here's the controller. He's a neat kid, man. He's a really neat kid. Like I said, he reminds me of me. He's a little spacey, but he's smarter than he comes off. And people don't, they don't, and so Gene knows that, and his parents know that, but some people, he can get by on some people, but either way, I don't think he's like special needs, guys. He just, he's a kid. They all develop at a different rate, and they probably would have told me I needed Ritalin and I needed special needs too. That's what's wrong with this guy. Now you figured out what's wrong with me, huh? Okay, anyway, so no breaking the law on his part. He gets the child back. He already had Child Protective Service, had to get him involved and let them know, because his mom, I'm not going to bring the whole thing up, had brought up some dirt on, my homie, all right, and said, look, some actions about something. I'll just bring it up. Odin, he's a good young boy, but he made a threat of some violence to a family member, and the family member, straightened him out. Not anything, no corporal punishment, and it got flipped on him. And Gene, it got flipped on Gene. that he had done. So, he was in, and that's not what happened. It wasn't even his hand or anything that had done. I mean, and the child was saying something that he shouldn't be saying. It was a proper correction, and it got flipped. So I feel really bad because there's never been anything. I've never seen anything like all the times I've been around. They're both, I don't think either of them ever seen them be violent to their, there's other ways. Take their computers to make them go to other room. There's always been that type of, not the corporal punishment. So I feel really bad for him because that got brought up. That's what mom brought up, that, the child's in some kind of, child was not put in any danger, and it was a proper correction. You don't say you're going to kill somebody as a kid, and he's just acting out. He was just being a kid, and you don't say those things. And, and his, a family member too corrected him. Basically, you don't say that, and gave him the correction. And it's kind of a bummer because I don't think anything other than that these two would have ever had anything going. It was pretty normal. Again, separation and him going there. And, I think that's, again, what she tried to pull. So, that, he's putting this child in danger and da-da-da. No. And that's why CPS or whatever, DHS, went in there and got the child back for him, his son, their kid, and he brought him back home. And then she filed for a court date here in Lake County where I live. Now, his name was on the police report. When he pulled out of here, they actually are, or on the paperwork that he came when we had my son here, because they weren't going to try to put him in prison. I had all the paperwork, and I had all the hundreds of hours. They didn't want to listen to it. He came and brought me some ice, guys, and food, because I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't want to leave Elijah here. If I'm not going to let him leave here, and then I leave the house and let him stay here, they could just leave. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. So he was nice enough to help me out. He came to the gate. He brought me some ice. His name got mentioned, brothers, sisters, on the report. When she filed that report out here, he went to court. The judge said that he custodial interfered with her parenting time and gave her custody of the kid, ripped him out of his normal environment, which normally, that's not what's done. You don't take a child's environment. He was not being put in danger. He got the child back. And then when he got his son back, she filed for a court date. She showed up here. He brought his child to court. Judge Dave Vandenberg, the criminal Dave Vandenberg, who should not be practicing family law, went in and removed his parenting rights and stripped him. And I think it's every other weekend or something. I don't even know what the parenting schedule, but removed his custody and gave his rights over to full custody to his ex-wife, saying he custodial interfered when she didn't even have custody. He was only, see, brothers, sisters, this is criminal what they did to this man. And I didn't mean to go off on this, but we're hanging around me, and then people get targeted. So that's why I suffer. Even the people around me. He's lost his kid. And you don't think that has anything to do with it? Imagine being my friend, okay, and still hanging around me still. I mean, what a good guy. That's why I'm trying to support and support what he's trying to do here and get his independence and to do what I think his father wants him to do. And if that, set sail, if you will, get be independent and have his ability to, again, I know someday here in the future, he'll get his son back and he'll be able to do the things with his son that he wanted to do from the beginning. He didn't want to ever keep his son from his wife. That's why he let him go there. And then they turned around and ripped him away from it's insanity. I have no vengeance against Dave Vandenberg, but that hurts my heart so much to see that my own, just somebody who's a hang around. He's not a hang around, guys. He's my homie. Okay. He's my brother. He really is. He ain't just some hang around. He knows what I'm talking about. So, we got to have each other's backs. And, man, what a brutal life Father gave even this man. I can't imagine, just hanging around somebody and now you're guilt by association. So it happens, brothers, sisters. That's what he was saying in this, lawsuit that it's going to have to be part of this. You know, what they've done out here in this county. There's just one story about this same judge as the judge that's been, you know, terrorizing me and my son and literally stole my son from me. He's the one who signed the SWAT warrant, you know. Well, Ted Martin and him, and they're, you know, corrupt, and, you know, there we go. Has full custodial right to the child, goes back, gets the, you know, the DHS to give him his child back, and has a court date, she files it, and Dave Vanderberg just strips this man of his parent, of his child. So I appreciate that, Rebel. You continue to be my friend. I know it's not easy to be my friend, man. You become a product of your environment. Father warns us that don't sup with vipers, you know, careful who you cut with, the company you keep, you know that. So we've talked about that. This guy's been my friend. We have talked for we can talk for hours and hours. So it's nice to have him, since I don't have my son, because he's the only other person I would talk to like that for hours at a time. So I do appreciate you guys' ear. It's just really hard. You know, like I said, there's witness right there to a man who lost his child for hanging around me, man. This is reality. I can live with this every day, guys. You see why I curse and get up and sit in here, and I don't mean to, man. My son has had to pay. They targeted him. He did everything he was supposed to do. It's because of me. It's because of me. Why don't I just take a freaking gun and blow my head off? I won't ever, ever do that. I'm just going to have to, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, suffer to the end. And everybody around me, I apologize. But I tell people, I do warn people, you know, only people normally can take very small doses of me. This man has been around me to know I can walk into a room and I don't have to open up my mouth, and people are very irritated when I walk into a room. And I'm not talking about people that know me. He's been in my presence. He knows my aura, if you will, and I don't do all that Reiki nonsense. But, you know, we're all light. We're all energy, if you will. It's all created with that light, if, you know. So I'm sure Father will pour out a just measure on Dave Vanderberg, and this is what Father wants for him. And I've tried to talk to him, and he sat down and listened to me, to still be my friend when I can tell him that this is what Father wants. And we don't even necessarily like have the same, you know, because it's not a belief, but he does believe in this higher creation power and knows that, you know, there is a creator. All these things are created. And so he's an accountable man. He has a more Old Testament type of, you know, a way about him. He doesn't believe we get away with these things at all. And he's truly correct. We don't. But, you know, he doesn't want to think so much of, and I've talked to him and I know, because I've seen him, he would forgive anybody. So he is a forgiving man, but he believes in accountability. We'll just leave it at that. So he knows that a just measure will be poured out when all this gets righted. He will right all the wrongs, and anybody that wronged him, that will be just. Anybody that took, it will be given back. You know, he will take, those with less will have more, and those with more will have less. That's the nice thing about hanging out with somebody that's not religious. We could talk about all of them, you know, talk about paganism, Satanism, you know, and he's what they consider more of a Nordic, if you will. He has that, he wants to get on the ocean. So he's a Viking. That's what he is. But no, not really. But anyways, he's truly a man that wants to be independent, and he's a meek man is what he is. He's a meek man. He's a pacifist like myself. I know people think I'm hardcore, and I don't want no violence, man. I'd rather steer clear. Whatever, Trey. All you do is well, that's for others. Myself personally, I don't try to bring violence upon anybody. I call the truth out if somebody's trying to twist it, change it, or warp it. But you know, we all have our own reality, if you will, because, you know, what we think of our own self is not what other people think about us. We probably spend our whole lives chasing what we think people think about us, but they probably don't even think about as much as we think they think about us. So, yeah, it's kind of a delusion, but it's good to know that there's others out there that are, you know, feeling the pain. And yeah, Dane, pagan, and yeah, pride is a sin, and we know that. So that's why he said, "Lot, get your wife. I've seen enough of this hokey pokey." No, wait, that was a pride. So, but all right, so let's move on. I appreciate it. I had to take, that's like I said, that's the phone call I had to take, because I'm trying to secure another location for this ministry so that we can put up a freeze dryer and have a location where I can, you know, more have access to, if I did hold some kind of, you know, lesson, I think I would have a much more, I don't know if people from this valley come, but I do think that I can bring people from Central Oregon, Bend, and other places that would come out here to High Desert Faith and Truth once we got going and up off the ground and you know, so I plan on not, you know, I'm trying to get my legal situation taken care of completely where I can just get out of here and not worry about, you know, anything timely. I could just go in a time and come back and work the two ministries between here and this ministry, because there's people who can't leave here. And that's what I want to continue to work towards. Remember, the whole idea was to bring back food from Ecuador to here, you know, and continue to support both of the ministries through the Southern, you know, Americas and then the North Americas. I wanted to try to reach out. I actually was going to try to leave both of them and go on the road. That's all I've ever wanted to do. I mean, for a long time, I've told my son before he was ever turned 18, and he's in his, you know, 20s now, and that I just wanted to blow like a sail, you know, like like a boat without a motor, you know. So just let the wind blow me and see where Father would take me, and not worry about, you know, bird not worries what it's going to eat, and you know, when it's out in the, it lands on a border wall. Does it care what's Mexico or is America? No, it just flies away. Be more like a bird, but it's just, or maybe more like water, a little more liquid, if you will. You know, find that path of least resistance. So, like lightning, baby. Woo! Isn't that strange? The laws of attraction, the laws of Father Nature and Father Time. So, but anyways, let's what do we got? 18 of you in here, boy. We sparked the algorithm. Maybe we'll slow her back down again, and we'll come back up, because we seem to have slowed this rhythm down, and we'll respark the rhythm is a dancer. All right, I hear you. I know, and I don't mind. I'll just hang out with you guys if you want. We don't need a large crowd. I don't care who's here, just as long as the body's here. So, but I know some people came in, and we could probably start the lesson over or something. I mean, I don't know what time it is. So what do we got here? Let's see. Okay. Got hot coffee? Let me let my puppies in. You puppies are all wet, puppy dogs. You're wet boys. You're trying to let me sit out in the rain, Dad. You're leaving me in the rain, Dad. Oh, man. Man. Maybe what I'll do, guys, I'll I don't know. Probably I think my last couple sticks of firewood probably got rained on. Just think about maybe getting a fire going in here. It's starting to chill out a little bit. My ears, I can feel it on my ears a little bit. I'm in the cabin. This old cabin, the way I built it wasn't like I built the Rusty Dragon, or so it does chill off in here when the temperature goes down. I have a couple pieces of firewood, but hey, something going in there for a little bit might get me by here and at least take the chill off the air before I go to bed, and because I'm sure I'll be in here for another hour or two. If I come back up, and I will, I won't, I know say sometimes I might, but I will. I'll come back up. I know there's people still up right now. It's Friday, so it's Friday. I know you don't. No, never mind. We better not go there. Remember the movie Friday? You ain't got no job. So, all right. Yeah, let me do that, brothers, sisters. We'll come back up. We'll pump the algorithm a little bit, and we'll come back up here, and we'll have another continue of the whiteboard lesson. And I'd like to sit down because my back's starting to irritate me, but I'll stand up for you guys. I mean, it's a 20K. Thank you, Livestream. So sometimes we got to suffer for others. That's kind of, I'm a service to other beings. So Pleasure's worse than the pain, right? It's not supposed to be easy. Hadosi said, a bird cannot achieve bliss without resistance, brother. Says, not possible. Not possible. So, all hail MAGA. Oh, the Satanist priest, church, high priest to the MAGA. MAGA, 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 MAGA. MAGA, high priest to the Satan church. Yeah. Do as thou will. Gonzo with the wind. There we are again. I didn't see it down there, but I wasn't looking. Now that I've opened my eyes, I can see. You see what I'm saying? You hear what I'm contemplating? That's like the voices inside of my head, right? Wasn't that a song? Oh, no, that was the Wrecking Ball, huh? All right. Thanks, brothers, sisters. Appreciate it. I apologize for the interruptions, but, you know, like this ministry comes first. Father comes, he creates all things. So I had to answer that phone call. It's an important phone call. I'm trying to get multiple things done here. I'm a man of many hats. So I might even come on with a different hat. Yep, hail MAGA, the high priest of the Satan church. Hail Donald Trump, right? And his MAGA idiots. Maggots or idiots? You tell me. Idiots or idiom. So they love it, brothers, sisters. They love their pole worship. They got that breath, you know, the man chowder. They love gargling the goo gobbles, right? Goo goblins and outer space balls. All the way, take it deep, man. Man, these people are sick. So, yeah, great. Again, is high priest of the Satan church. So, magatards, I know they're going to be known as the most ignorant generation to ever walk the rock. You know, you were changed in the twinkling of an eye. Hillary for prison, lock her up, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars funneled into his account. She sat at his inaugural dinner. That's how fast those people went to sleep. Yeah, and then praises the Clintons the next day. Donald Trump is Hillary Clinton, in case you hadn't figured it out. Donald is Joe Biden. They have been trading lightsabers in their ice holes. I've told you that. That's why this channel got shadow banned, because nobody else is pointing out that, yeah, Ivan's got an apple, just like Manshell. That's Reggie. You're an idiot. You might look at Nancy. No, I don't bleed hatred. You're an idiot. I'm a veteran. I don't hate. I hate the sinner. No, I hate the sin. You're an idiot. You wouldn't know the difference between an idiot and an idiom because you're gonzo for life with the wind, like a movie or like a book. You got to play like a deck of cards. You know that? Like two jokers. MAGA, like Gemini. You know, why did he pardon Lil Wayne, huh? And not his J6. Get out of here. You're a child, honeypot. You must be on that dispensary or something, or you didn't take in too many of his warp speed jabs. Yep, you and then you're all your magatards. MAGA's a high priest of the Satan church, so we know you by your fruit there, gonzo with the wind. Yep. No, you're a joker, like two jokers. You're an idiot. You've been played. You know, like a carrot, follow the carrot on the end of a stick. You're out of your league, little league. Like knocking off a ball on a bone stick. You're an idiot. You go chase that. Go run around in circles. How about around the bases? Military bases or millimeter domes? You couldn't handle this truth. Just keep following everybody. You get on your train and smoke your pole worship in the man who decorates his house with Satan. Anybody who's calling for great or better, that's Antichrist. So you just don't know the difference. And that's why you suck on his 58-story tower. You slurp it up. You love it. You're lapping in the luxury. I'm not staying in my cold cabin alone. I've got my puppies here. And I've got more cabins. There's other people just not in the cabin. So, but that's all right. That's on Father. Don't you worry. I don't need a wife. I've been getting fucked by the government for the last, I don't know, what, ever since I've been birthed. Child. Be 7. You know the number of maturity, not face diaper, like a child wear a face diaper. Get out of here, child. Magatard. Yeah, seriously. You must be trading lightsabers. You said, hey, we got an EpiPen Island boy in here. This is an EpiPen Island boy. He's been to the island boy. I think he's on the, yeah. I'm telling you, he must be on the list. In the black book. Let's ping his phone. All right? Let's see if it's been to the island. How come your magatard idiot Trump leader's phone was paying from his tower to the island boy, to the EpiPen Island, and back to the tower again? Like Jimmy back? Like, or baby back? Oh, don't get going in here, man. We might have to just keep going here. Oh, man. Remember? Jimmy Carter. Jimmy, oh no. Like baby back ribs, baby. Never mind. Oh my gosh. These people are just lost in space balls, man. Farce, remember? Farce, space farce. You know, nanu. Luke, I am your father, raising the Jurassic. You know. I know, we should roast all the trolls. Whatever, that's all right. We'll burn them with the eyes of fire. He said, eyes of fire, feet of fire. I'm going to bring the fire, not water. So, let me get a drink. Water. I got the Berkeys, and it's full of ice. You're as cold as ice, willing to sacrifice our agape. Oh, that's not what he said. Man, Berkey water is my favorite. I could have any kind of water, but I haven't got the Berkeys. So, all right, I got to go outside. I'm going to go see if I can find a couple sticks. I'm going to turn this off because we'll come back on again, guys. I appreciate you coming in. Just be patient with me. Pastor's just on and off today. Hey, sometimes you're the bat. Sometimes you're the ball, right? Sometimes you're the 5. Sometimes you're the G. Sometimes you're the whiz. All right. Yeah, hit that algorithm button there for me. And we'll be back like baby back ribs or like Outback Steakhouse. You tell me. We'll eat of the meat, brothers, sisters. That's what we do in here. You can take it up with the Father. I turned on the notification. Anybody get a notification? Because we did get a little bit of an unbanning here, shadow ban for a minute. Now we've pumped the algorithm, so we're back down off the... There's certain things we're not supposed to say, but if we can keep the eyes going in the right direction, so good. Okay, because I turned that on, and it quit working forever. So I did, hopefully, that when we unshadow ban here, it'll send out notifications. So 1 hour later. Okay, so weird. See? YouTube. Darn it. All right, well, I won't be that long, brothers, sisters, but I'd like to try to get a fire going in here. I got 2 pieces of wood left. Hey, man, I'm blaming it on the cops. I wouldn't have had to burn all that firewood if they wouldn't have shot out my windows. I know I don't have the whole cabin insulated, but when you don't have all the windows in and the air just leaks right out the windows, you know, then you burn a lot more firewood this year than I did last year. So like 7-8 cords or something this year. So I'll be back like John Connor Terminator, and we'll respark the algorithm. We'll get the whiteboard going again, and we'll try to just enjoy the night. It's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got poo-poo to do. All right, guys. I appreciate it. No, this is not drugs. I'm on the Jesus juice. You guys know that. You know, I drink coffee, but that's cold. I mean, that's not half a coffee, and I think I heated this coffee up 3 times already today. And you know what I did last time? I left a little bit of coffee on. I lit on there. The bottom of it burnt. So I think but anyways, coffee's a drug. So don't do drugs. Drugs kill people, right? Cannabis has never killed anybody. So, all right. What? All right. Anyways, moving on. I'm a medicinal trichome farmer. So I appreciate it. It's medicine for me. So I might actually, I have a gummy. My back has been killing me. I actually ate one yesterday because I was man, I'll tell you, yesterday was a pretty tough day for me, man. That knocking down that pole is just, these people are trying to intimidate me is what they're trying to do. The targeting and that type stuff. It's obviously so. Gene's son taking, running my pullovers, crushing this house. It's been a long walk. So I'm glad that I have, something that it's my nerves, brothers, sisters. My nerves will just get, I have nerve damage. It's a connection thing. It's a signal pain is what it is. And that it's a different kind of pain. If you've never had a nerve pain, that's different than like breaking bones and cuts and contusions. And it's from your brain is sending a signal that you need to fix yourself. So it's a very intense. Your body wants it to repair itself, and I will not. My body's already fused itself together, and so it sometimes it fights itself, trying to tell myself, go have surgery, dipshit. You need fixed. Stop. But I won't do it. So that's the kind of pain I can break and cut and scratch, and that's not a problem. I have a high pain tolerance. But if anybody's ever had kind of a nerve pain, and I'm not trying to compare it to, I don't have problems with my teeth like that. I've had too many teeth. I've had some couple extras taken out, and they would, crush, my teeth, and that, leave a nerve ending. Or if somebody had ever had, like, you're supposed to, if you have an episode of Seuss Brothers, just go get that thing fixed. You don't want to breathe or eat any of that, because that's what you're basically doing. But that's a nerve pain, and that's a very intense pain. So if somebody have ever had that, and that's probably a lot, that's probably a much mild form than when you have lower, sciatica nerve. And so I'm thankful for cannabis. It doesn't cure my, there we go. It doesn't cure my pain. It doesn't take the pain away, but it tells the signal to slow down, and that, stop trying to, he's not going to go to the hospital there, stupid. My brain is smart. It's telling itself I should have get myself fixed, but I just won't, brothers, sisters. I just won't. They want me to have 2 back surgeries, and I can't afford that. I don't have anybody to take care of me. Anybody to actually, I probably could have back surgery now because I've been paying off all the ministry and stuff, but I'm never going to let them cut on me and fix. I've been too far gone. I've already welded myself together. Our body's very resilient, and, fused. They would have to jack my spine up and replace the vertebrae that had disintegrated a long time ago. And it's sitting, that next one degenerated and actually bulged. And then, it literally pushed itself out. The second one was way worse than the first disc problem that I have. And this is where my problem is that sciatica nerve, it's like a dog. It's like almost like a woman's. Anyways, it has that signal comes right down through your spine. So if that touches at all, man, it's over. You're going to feel that. That's a very intense pain. And then when your back disc, that's like a gel, in a padded, well, like cannabinoids in your immune system. Anyways, I'm not giving any medical advice. The cushion, why do you think it to get people with autoimmune deficiency syndrome to help push their open, keep them. Okay, but anyways, that cushion, your disc, like I said, I had a bulging and a compressed disc. What it did is it pushed out all that spinal, the fluid in my disc, and it leaked for about almost 5-6 months onto my spinal cord. And that was a whole nother kind of pain that I had to deal with until that one completely degenerated. And then I sit, L5 on S1 broken in the military, and then did no disc between that, calcified, welded itself together. I was going to give my son, I don't think I'm ever going to get to see my son again, only if father allows that. But for my final, I was going to give him an x-ray of my body so he can see all the breaks. It's so ugly. It looks like somebody was a really bad welder back there and went and just, but our body is resilient. So it has fused itself between those 2 discs. But that's why I can't do any, I need surgery. A lot of people, you should do this and you should do that. And they've tried everything they can try, between, electrolysis 10s and just any kind of, honestly, buoyancy is a nightmare for me. People hot and expansion, because that's going to lift something, and then when it resettles back down, it could settle back down where that nerve was settled, and it's a matter of just this much that it moves, it touches your sciatica. That's why they would not give me the cortisone and try to patch me up. No, I can't do no chiropractor. See, that's what you don't understand. They can't. I've been broken with no disc, are gone, two degenerated, completely gone disc, and then my body is literally fused myself from my L5. My tailbone has fused itself to my S1 without a disc. That shouldn't happen. I shouldn't be able to walk. With the nerve problems with that alone have been, and then 3 car accidents, rear end accidents, none of them my fault, 3 in 1 year, 13. But thank you, Father, for that. Second accident, literally, 55 mile an hour hit and run, felony hit and run in the middle of the road, just, a second break. And then that I had fluid in the frontal lobes of my brain, but I couldn't even stand up, or I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. The sciatic was so bad. I'm very blessed to be here. I've been through so much crap. My body's been put through. Father puts me through some serious, stuff, but I can't do back surgery, brothers and sisters. It would take me 2 full reconstructive back surgeries to get those discs back where they were, go break out all that, it's already fused itself together. Naturally, it's done it. Like I said, it looked like a really bad welder gone in there, and it's all in one piece now, but I'm here. Look at me, I'm standing up. They said, I remember my son, I was in the Slocum building in Coburg, Oregon, and Dr. Phillips told me that, Tracy, I'm not giving you these cortisone shots. You give these shots, you're going to break your back again. And so I can't risk. You have too much trauma back there. And if I hit that sciatic nerve, if I had that, that right there on your spinal cord, you're not going to walk again. But you have a very serious issue if you do not get this surgery, and that top disc is already now depleted itself, and that crushes and sits, and that any further pushes that further down, you're not going to walk. You are not going to walk. You are going to either break your back, and I can't. So it's too risky. I run being sued for malpractice. I'm refusing to give you any cortisone. I would have to give you way too many, and you're going straight for back surgery, and you're going to get reconstructive surgery, and you're going to come back in 6 months after, physical therapy. And I'm going to repeat that process, and we're going to get you back in line. Your dad, and, I think you can fight through this, and you can make it. You're tough. You're a veteran. And so I moved out of the state of Oregon because my son was scared. He wouldn't stop talking about it. Guys, you should have seen my son was in there with me. I brought him to the doctor's appointment. When we walked outside, he said, Dad, you're not going to be able to throw the football. Dad said he's not going to be able to. And he lost his mind, brother. Says he thought that his dad was not going to be able to walk. He had heard what that doctor said, and he took it very seriously. And because my son was very overwhelmed, I moved out of the state of Oregon, and I actually moved to Idaho because he would not. He just got scared, and the only way I could really honestly was to, I'm all right, Elijah, we have other places we can go. It'll be fine. I'm going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. I'll work through this. And I did. And I'm thankful for medicinal cannabis, because it really helps, when at the end of the night, when my back really just starts, it's like right now, you guys, I'm in so much freaking pain from standing, straight up, just sitting there in one place. But I'm all right. I live with pain every day. I go to bed in pain. I wake up in pain. Pain is a weakness just trying to leave your body. So if you have any kind of nerve pain, you'd understand what works for some doesn't work for others. But for me, I am thankful that to have, medicinal cannabis. And I honestly, those gummies I bought 3 months ago or something like that. So I think there was 10 of them in there, and I had 2 left, and I only use them really honestly like an emergency, like somebody would use like a painkiller, but I don't take painkillers. Actually, in my medical records, I can place lawsuit. You can't touch me with you can't touch me with any painkillers. It says it in I've refused it. I will not take any medicinal, no, pharmakia. That's not medicinal. That is an absolute, and I experience every side effect that there is to it. I unbeknown to me, all the side effects, because they've put me on some of the, I don't, brothers, because I'm prone to to seizures. They try to keep me on seizure medicine, and I haven't had what I've known, and my body's done some things before what I don't think a full seizure, but they are very concerned that because of the way that spine is back pressed with all that sciatic nerve pushing through the two discs, without it, that at any moment I could have seizure. I could, go into a full grand mal seizure because of the pressure that's on my lower back, that's been put on that. And that's a communication thing too, through the spinal, our column. So through that nerve, it goes all the way up into our brain. If you think about how we're like a tree, we have branches and on our extremities, and so that runs right up through, and that's been my biggest problem too, is that when my body tries to shut down certain areas of my signals, that causes the others, like a virus, to, not a living organism, to signal a messenger relay. That's why I know that, brother, I'm not that damn smart, but I have been very well educated for 3 more decades, more than what most doctors will study. I've sat down with doctors and go, it's incredible how much you know and how much you're actually kind of teaching me. I say, well, you learn what's in a box. And I'm not saying that you don't know everything, but you don't know what I know because you got taught what was in a box. I learned what's in the box and outside of the box because I don't have to keep a closed mind to keep a job. It's not a job to me. It's my life. I used to work in this line of work, obviously law enforcement and first responder, serving as, I've had this certification on how the body and how to, administer these things in a trauma, contusions, abrasions, and, whatever, tourniquets, all this type of, and then the human makeup of our body, brothers and sisters, we're complicated, but we're not that complicated. It's like people run from math. Algebra is very simple. It's just like addition and subtraction, but people run because they're just scared of math. But I find the same way with spirituality, brothers and sisters. Everything through my spiritual calculator, if you will, by the number, it has to add up. So I'm thankful that Father made me the way I am, because, like I said, I'm intrigued. Everything to me is math. Even though it might be scientific, it's more mathematical to me than it is anything. I know that sounds kind of strange, but Father does everything by the number. So it is Hokadesh, Spirit, Holy Ghost, if you will, like a formula that you need to equate. You have to have that particular, and you have to know that. Otherwise, you won't be able to make it work. So I know that's what people are afraid of too, because they don't know the equation, or they're, if that makes sense. But math to me is simple, and I don't mean to talk down to anybody, but I look at these things all that way. So sometimes that's why I understand, like I said, what's going on with my body. And I think there's times that I can help myself. My dad taught me how to do this when I was very young, and I'm not in again and then this Reiki bull stuff, but we do have the placebo effect over our mind to control. We think about something that's going to hurt more. You talk about something that's going to hurt more, if that makes sense. So I'm thankful that I don't have to use a large amounts of medicine. You know what I'm saying? And I use it when I need it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful to have it because, like when I go to jail, last time I sat in jail for a couple of weeks, right? I can't use cannabis in jail. They don't have any, I think they have, what do they call that? There's some other, I don't even want to talk about it. Whatever, it don't matter. But thankful, Father, if you give me a break, I'm actually gonna reset the stream here, get this fire started, and we'll go back at it because I'm all right. I mean, my back's not hurting that bad. I've been in a lot worse pain than this. So you guys are worth it. It's a thank you live stream. And again, no, without resistance, without, you're not achieving really much, brothers and sisters. So let me get back over this target here in a minute, and we'll start lobbing, rounds. And I'm sure they'll come in here and they'll lob rounds back at us, telling we're crazy and firing, that we're the enemy. You know what I'm saying? We're the enemy. They'll start firing. God don't love everybody. Yes, he does. You can't. There's no such thing in tongues. Yes, you can. All that stuff. They don't like the truth. They can't handle the aletheia. So thanks for hanging out. We'll be back in a moment because I just want to refire the algorithm. So see how long it takes you to get that notification button. Less than 10 or 15 minutes. I won't take too long. And 20 at the most. I don't even know. I don't have really good firewood. So if it doesn't light the first time, I'm not going to even try. Tomorrow's another day. You know what I mean? I don't need I have a big thick blanket. I got fuzzy blankets. I'm addicted to fuzzy blankets. Hey man, I don't know. I want to do this to you guys because I don't want to hurt, like I said, anybody's feelings here that, like you don't have to admit, but if you ever been locked up in jail or anything like that, that's my kryptonite, brothers, sisters, is laying on something with my back, because they don't accommodate that for you in jail. So it really is probably the worst thing for me to ever happen to me was to get locked up, because I couldn't. Back is just, So, but anyways, I got good blankets here, and I'm sure tonight I'll be fine, even if I'm a little pain, because all I have to think about is jail and how fuzzy my blankets are and how comfortable my bed is. And it's just like, oh, I forget about the pain. And I just Father helps me. So, hey, I don't mean to do that, but if you've ever been locked up in jail, it's those things aren't very, you sleep on a freaking piece of chewing gum or something like that. That's what it's like to me. It's like my kryptonite, brother, sister, laying down. I'd rather just sit up all night. But anyways, like I said, I'll be all right. Like I said, I don't mean to sit there and gripe and whine, but give me a minute. Let me get some fire started in here, because what it is it's raining, so it's kind of a wet cold in here tonight. So it's the high desert, so normally I wouldn't have to worry about it too much. But yeah, stay tuned, and I'll be back in a little, just a little bit. So leave a comment. Nobody's been leaving any comments. That's okay. That's all right. You don't have to. I'm not going to try to make you do anything. So I do appreciate it, guys, and I do apologize for the interruption earlier, but I did purchase another parcel in town for the ministry, so I've got to take care of that. That's a good chunk of change, and I have a big, I probably should, again, put it towards the lawsuit. I should take that money and put it towards the lawsuit. I don't care. I'm going to spend every single dime I have and not file the lawsuit yet, but I will. Father will provide. So I've got to get this ministry paid off, and it's going to be awesome. It'd be nice to have a place where we can freeze dry food for this ministry, and people come in from out of town. I plan on that. That's right up in the town, and just have a place for kind of a temporary passing through for people who don't want to come out here and homestead on this site. A little bit more, like I said, running water and sinks and on the grid, all that. I don't live like that, but I know we'll probably bring people through the ministry once this gets up and going. Like I said, guys, I've been putting 15 plus years into doing this, but it's all coming together slowly. If Father wouldn't beat me so much, put me in jail and, have a SWAT team come make me in more pain and make things already worse than it is, as far as, but my body's resilient. Look at me. I'm still here, still standing upright. So I'm thankful for that. We'll come back and we'll finish this up. I'm not done. Are you done for the night? I'm not done. If you're done, we can end it. I'll just melt into the couch. But if you want to come back, we can do some more live streaming. I got more in me. I just got to go out in that wet rain and grab the glass. I don't know. I have a couple pieces of little small pieces of firewood out there, and then try to throw some wood or some paper at it, and we'll see if I can get it going. So All right. I'll be back, guys. Much Agape, Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're not already. And we'll see you again on the next broadcast here before the end of the night. We're not done. It's a thank you, guys. So I want to make sure that we hit the people that are just probably coming up. I know not everybody, it's Friday, so some people get home late from their jobs and probably wouldn't mind spending a couple minutes here with the other brothers and sisters that are in the narrow way, some of the regulars. So it's worth my time if it's worth yours. Time is like gold, right? You can't print it. Can't print gold, but you can't eat gold either. But get some rice and beans, brothers, sisters. Get yourself a water filter. Get prepared. Be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. I'll be back soon. Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse. Whoa.